Look, 2026 is right around the corner, and I want to be real with you. Most people are going to enter this year the exact same way they entered last year, distracted, overwhelmed, and hoping life will get magically better. But if you're watching this, you probably don't want to be like most people. You actually want to lock in and make 2026 the year to take yourself seriously. So let's talk about how to actually do that, the things that matter, the things that don't, and what locking in really looks like in 2026. And a lot of you are going to think 2026 is just another year on the calendar, but it doesn't have to be just another year. It can be a transition year for you. It's the beginning of a new cycle in your life where the things you choose to focus on now are going to quietly shape the rest of your life. And most people don't realize how much the small decisions that they make at 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 actually affect their financial stability, mental health, career trajectory, and everything else by the time they hit 30 or 40. So 2026 is the first time for a lot of us that we're taking on new responsibilities, new careers, and we want to learn what are the best ways that we can actually lock in, hone in, and make 2026 a year worth living. And I actually made a video earlier this year talking about how to lock in your 20s. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link in the description. Feel free to check that out. But the first thing we need to do to hone in our 2026 is to cut the habits that are quietly ruining our lives. And what I mean by this, most people hear bad habits and they think of the big dramatic ones that everyone knows, right? They think of staying out every weekend, blowing money, eating trash every day, not working out, gooning, drugs, drinking, smoking, whatever it might be. But honestly, for a lot of people, those aren't the true habits that are actually stopping you from locking in. While yes, those are bad habits, not everyone does those. But what I can assume a lot of people do are the subtle habits that look harmless but drain you little by little. Now, this can be checking your phone every 30 seconds, doom scrolling before bed, watching content that makes you compare yourself to everyone else, avoiding tasks you know you should be doing, procrastinating because you want instant dopamine, or surrounding yourself with random noise 24/7 so you actually never think for yourself. And in 2026, these micro distractions are becoming one of the biggest reasons why people fall behind. And they don't fail dramatically. They fail silently, and they lose weeks, then months, then maybe a year because these little habits start to stack and you never actually bother to fix them because they don't see them adding up in the background. And locking in means finally getting honest about those habits that steal your focus and deciding, I'm done letting this run my life and I'm done letting this take valuable time away from me. The next thing we need to do is we need to master the boring stuff, right? And this is a great foundation that can change a lot because we are in a world where everyone, me included, is searching for shortcuts. We want the fastest way, the fastest return on investment. We want the aesthetic routines, the magical morning rituals, the fancy productivity tools, the quick way to success from content creation, the quick way to success from side hustles. But the stuff that actually changes your life, it's the boring, the unsexy, the repetitive. It's tracking your money, where it's going instead of guessing. It's paying your bills on time. It's finally building an emergency fund so you're not one inconvenience away from being broke or being stressed. It's understanding the principles of a Roth IRA and putting money into it when no one else sees it. It's automating your finances so you don't have to rely on motivation to save or invest your money. It's meal prepping so you can get your health on track. It's blocking out time to think, cleaning up your room. These aren't glamorous tasks, and to a lot of people, these are boring and sometimes inconvenient, but they're the foundation for a stable, stress-free life. The more boring things that you can master, the more optional everything else becomes. And in 2026, being financially stable and mentally grounded will be the cool thing to do. That's going to be what everyone is striving to do in the new year, especially with the market being up and down right now, especially with so much uncertainty. If you are financially stable and you are mentally grounded, you are going to be the role model for a lot of people in 2026. The third thing is we want to build one skill in the new year that is going to make us money. Your 20s are not about figuring out every single thing you want to do in life. They're about picking one thing and getting really, really good at it. Most people bounce around from hobby to hobby, from job to job, trying to find their passion. But passion definitely comes after competence. So if you want 2026 to be the year that you truly lock in, choose one skill that you really enjoy that can increase your earning power. Not 10, not 5, just one skill, something that you can see yourself sticking with long enough to at least get good at, whether it's editing YouTube videos, data analytics, design, coding, building websites, AI tools, sales, project management, literally any skill that can add to your financial firepower. Focus on that one skill. The people who win in their 30s are the ones who didn't quit every time things got boring or things got comfortable in their teens and 20s. They picked a lane early, they stayed consistent, and let the years work in their favor. 2026 is the year you stop trying to quote unquote find your thing, find one thing, stick to it, and start building it. The next one that's super underrated is we need to audit our circle and we need to audit our inputs. Your environment in the new year matters more than ever. Not just your friends, but your influences, the people you follow, the content you consume, the conversations you're a part of, the group chats you stay in. All of that shapes who you become. You cannot lock in if every voice around you is pulling you in opposite directions, encouraging bad habits, or validating, staying stuck or a bad lifestyle. Ask yourself who actually supports your growth and who keeps you stagnant, and audit your circle the same way you audit your finances. If one of your friends or one of your buddies indulges in bad habits or drains your energy or consistently complains or makes leveling up in life feel like something to be embarrassed about, well, the hard truth is maybe you don't need that person around you in 2026. Surround yourself with people who make ambition feel normal and who want to achieve just as much as you do. And we can never overlook building a health baseline. Look, locking in is not just mental, it's not just financial, but it's also physical. And in your teens and in your 20s, your body bounces back. But guess what? In your 30s and in your 40s, it definitely doesn't. So the younger you are, the more optional caring about your health feels. But the older you get, it becomes a necessity. So 2026 is the perfect year to set a health baseline you can actually maintain long term. And this is not about becoming a fitness influencer or a guru or going on like a 3-day fast. All it is about consistency, right? Getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That is the most important thing you can do for your body. Your body repairs itself while it's sleeping. So sleep is at the top of the list. Walking every day. You always want to keep your body moving. Drinking more water. Cutting down on alcohol. Eating real whole food. Lifting weights a few times a week. And managing stress in a healthy way. These things take your mental clarity to a whole new level. And when you're healthy, everything else becomes easier. Your motivation picks up, your discipline, your mental health, and your finances will follow. The more healthy you are on a physical level and a mental level, the easier it is to improve your finances. And you cannot lock in if you are not getting enough sleep, if you're not drinking enough water. If you feel like crap every single day, it will be impossible for you to truly lock in 2026. And another super underrated thing that a lot of people don't pay attention to is having structure and solitude in their lives. One of the most underrated parts of leveling up is having structured time alone. What I mean by this is time where you are by yourself, where you're not consuming content. You're not texting. You're not being pulled in every direction. This is time where you can actually hear yourself think. Solitude is where clarity will come from. It's where you figure out what actually matters and what you've been avoiding. Without these things, you are just reacting to life instead of steering it. Now, pair that with structure. This is weekly planning, monthly resets, routines that actually fit your life, and suddenly you start feeling in control for the first time in your life. And most people in 2026 will be overstimulated to the point where they cannot sit in silence for 5 minutes or put their phone down for 10 minutes. So if you are able to build the ability to slow down and think, you will make much better decisions than 95% of the people in your age group. Now, this is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to locking in, but next is build something that's actually yours. 2026 is the year that you should make one thing in your life that is fully yours. This can be a project. This can be a new brand, a skill, a content channel, a side business, an investment habit, whatever it might be. Make something that is yours and that you own 100%, something that cannot be taken away from you. Your job is never truly yours. Your boss can change your future in literally 5 minutes. The economy can shift, layoffs can happen, algorithms can change, but the skills you build, the business you create, the content you make, the assets you invest in, those stay with you. My favorite thing for anyone out there who watches this YouTube video, this is your call to action right now, where if you have been contemplating making a YouTube channel, making a TikTok, making an Instagram, making a personal brand, 100% you should do it in 2026. I started this YouTube channel 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, and I would have never thought I would ever own a YouTube channel that is, I can call mine, that is my content, that has 10,000 subscribers. And it's given me a whole new outlook on life just from having a YouTube channel. I know that sounds cheesy to say, but I'm telling you it's true because it's something that I truly own. And once you own something, even if it's something small, you stop feeling scared of your future because you have something to fall back on, even if the monetary payoff isn't there yet. And ownership is one of the biggest forms of confidence in your 20s. You will learn a lot about yourself by truly owning something. So start something in 2026 and keep going even when it starts to slow down or if it doesn't perform as well as you'd like. And speaking of building things in 2026, there is one thing I want to shameless plug that I have personally been building in 2025 and waiting to release it until it was up to my standard. It's a side business that I've been working on called Mind Prompt. And I built Mind Prompt for people like you and me who really want to lock in and get in control of our lives, but maybe we just need that one daily reminder to get us on track. And what Mind Prompt will provide is one daily quote, one prompt for you to focus on, one action for the day, and one evening reflection. Now, what's really cool about Mind Prompt is when you go on the website, you'll see a few different tracks to choose from. Once you click on the track that you'd like to focus on, it will have you answer a few different questions. That way, the responses are personalized for you. Now, I will make a full dedicated video on this, but I didn't want to release this early to the people who are watching this video and who want to potentially support me. So feel free to check out Mind Prompt, test it, let me know what you think about it. The first 7 days are free, and I look forward to seeing what you guys think about it. So let's get back to the video. Next is you need to develop a personal operating system for your life. If there's one major upgrade that all of you can make in 2026, it's building a system for your day-to-day life and not just trying to, wing it every week. Not relying on motivation. Rely on a real system, something like habit tracking, weekly resets, monthly reflections, money check-ins, priority lists, boundaries around your phone, or intentional routines, whatever it might be. I have a video where I made a habit tracker. Feel free to check that out. I also check my net worth on a monthly basis. Anything like this, it just gives you a high-level view of what direction your life is going. And the people who are the most put together are not the most disciplined, believe it or not. They simply have really strong systems in place that carry them. And when life gets messy, the system is what you fall back on to keep you afloat. And when you're tired, that system gives you structure. When you're stressed, that system keeps you accountable. 2026 is the year that you stop relying on willpower and motivation to get you anywhere, and you start relying on true structure. One of the best things I could recommend as well, getting a plan on a piece of paper and sticking it to your door or wherever you see it every single day, even on your mirror in your bathroom. This is something I did at the beginning of this year. I wrote down on a piece of paper 10 goals I wanted to accomplish, and I stuck it on my door. And it's been on my door since January 1st of 2025, and I will do that again for 2026. And last but not least, stop rushing and slow down. Build the momentum instead. Your teens, your 20s, your 30s, I don't know what age you are, but it is not a race. 2026 is not your deadline. You do not need to have your career figured out. You don't need to be a millionaire or know your purpose or look perfect or, lose the weight you want to lose or gain the muscle you want to gain or have all these perfect plans in place. Locking in is not about speed, and it's not about creating this perfect life overnight. It's just about giving your life direction that wasn't there before. It's about building momentum every day, getting 1% better every day. And if you've been trying to rush the results or compare yourself to people ahead of you, 2026 is the year that you stop doing that. Focus on small, consistent action, Small steps definitely compound over time. A little progress every day is better than trying to overhaul your whole life in 1 week. And when you stop rushing, you actually start winning. So to wrap this up here, locking in is not about intensity. It's about alignment. It's about showing up every day with just a little more intention than you did in 2025. It's about choosing focus over noise, routines over chaos, and momentum over perfection. Look, all we can try to do is get 1% better every day and not let better get in the way of perfect. So look, 2026 can be the year, and I think it will be the year, that you build the version of yourself that your future depends on. Slow steps, slow stacking, one day at a time. Look at what worked for you in 2025 and look at what didn't work for you in 2025 and think about what new routines and processes can I implement in my life to really win 2026. So if you guys got any value out of this video, I appreciate a like and a subscription, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.